Rumors are circulating that Shohei Ohtani would be interested in signing with the Blue Jays, and it's a legitimate possibility in this offseason. Obviously, we know Ohtani is the prized possession on the free agent market, and he would alter the course of any franchise that he were to sign with. So I'll break that down and much more on this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Before we get into this video, this is brought to you by Rentals.ca. And if you didn't know, Rentals.ca is Canada's largest apartment hunting network. And the Jays need to make some moves. It's plain and simple. The fans have been clamoring for it. But if you need to make a move in your own personal life, use Rentals.ca. They are available coast to coast. And I know it's time to move for the Blue Jays. It may be time to move for you as well. So use Rentals.ca. Website is super clean and easy to use. Use Rentals.ca.
Yeah, and the best part is you can go on the map on the website and pinpoint the exact location where you want to rent your apartment. And Peter, they have, worked with you personally. I mean, you've used them yourself. My family's also used them, so we have personal experience with it, and it's the best out there. So if you want to check it out, check out the link in the pinned comment and the description as well. Peter, we have some interesting news to discuss today because Shohei Ohtani is a hot topic around Jays Nation. It's a hot topic around the MLB, and it's just a hot topic in general. And we're just going to give our opinions as well as highlight some rumors that have been circulating around what team he could go to, specifically the Toronto Blue Jays. But some Twitter, not beef, but Twitter stuff has went crazy recently, and tons of Twitter people have been going off about it. Peter, what is your initial thoughts on the rumor that the Jays could be interested in Ohtani? Because according to a lot of people on Twitter, they think the Jays have the money for it. And he says, if you don't think the Jays and dozens of other teams aren't allocating resources to make a run at Ohtani, I'm not sure what to tell you. We're about the biggest baseball star at the planet. And he's arguably, might be the best player of all time at this point. But Peter, I would love to see him go to the Blue Jays. The question is, do the Jays have the money, and will Rogers fork that up?
Well, of course they have the money. I mean, pretty much every team has the money to do it if they really wanted to. But it's all about ponying up and actually giving out that money and being serious about the long-term commitment that you're going to have to make here. I think Rogers can do it. They just got to show the willingness to go ahead and do that. But Shohei Ohtani, his impact goes far beyond the baseball field. I mean, just look at the amount of revenue that you would get in the marketing scheme, just everything that he brings to the table, apart from being the best baseball player in the game, just makes him that much more valuable. I mean, he signs billion-dollar deals in Japan with endorsement companies, and it's just crazy the impact that he has off the field. He's a megastar, especially in the Far East. So if you're getting him, you're also garnering a brand new fan base. If you're the Toronto Blue Jays, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of Japanese fans and a lot of people that are waking up early to watch Shohei Ohtani play for your team. So just that in itself is very valuable. And obviously the merchandise that you're going to be selling, the endorsements, the commercials, all that stuff. So Ohtani is worth every penny, and you may even be underpaying him if you're giving him $500 million. So definitely the Blue Jays should be in on him. It would be very smart for their business model. But will they do it? Will they be able to outbid other teams? That's the big question mark heading into the offseason. But there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the mix.
Yeah, and Rogers has the money, like you said, to do it. It's just a matter of if they want to go spend by far the biggest contract in Blue Jays history, and it'll be the biggest contract in baseball history. And like this guy said here, increasing payroll is a long-term commitment, not a Netflix trial. And from, like you just mentioned, from a business perspective, the returns are notable. Easy top 10 in baseball attendance with over 3 million tickets sold. Ohtani brings more than just baseball. If you're the owner of a specific team, in this case, Rogers and the Toronto Blue Jays, you're going to be generating way more revenue. You can think about jersey sales as well, maybe even just, attendance in the games and on television as well because of all the global impact he has. And Shohei Ohtani, he was also mentioned in the Ben Nicholson-Smith report, and according to Ben Nicholson-Smith, it is unlikely, but it is still a possibility, and he seems to think that the Jays are definitely going to make a run for him, as the Shai Davidi, as reported about a couple weeks ago. And Peter, do you think a number like 11 years, 490 is realistic? I think it might even be more than that. The biggest issue is with Ohtani right now is that he's undergoing Tommy John. His pitching won't be available in 2024. But, I mean, if I'm the Blue Jays or any other team, maybe 11 years, $500 million is about where you're at for Shohei Ohtani. But I'm not worried about the pitching side of things. At the very, very least, you're getting especially from a revenue standpoint, a generational talent and a generational player for a team that we probably won't see a player like this maybe, in my lifetime.
Yeah, definitely. I would still go for him, even if he could never pitch again. He's been that good of a hitter over the course of his career, and he was arguably the best hitter in the league last year before he went down with an injury. Obviously, we could put Corey Seager in there, Mookie Betts, but he was right there in the mix with those guys, on top of having an ERA nearing 3 with about 12 to 13 Ks per 9. He's legit. He can do it all. We're not doubting that, but it's a lot of money as well. And he is someone that's going to be 30 very soon. Is he going to be able to keep up this production over the long haul? Is he going to be able to steal bases towards the tail end of that contract? We're not exactly sure. I think he can still pitch. I think he can become a reliever later on in his career if he can't start games anymore. But that's a hefty price tag for a DH and a closer. So you got to do your due diligence if you're the Blue Jays. You got to check in on him, see what the price is looking like. But that's what it's going to take ultimately, $400 to $500 million. And you said it, 490 might be underselling him because he's that good and he could have that much of an impact on your franchise, not just on the diamond, but off the diamond as well. So I would check in if I were the Jays. I would definitely do my diligence in that sense. But who knows? I mean, there's going to be a ton of other suitors for him just because I said in the intro, he's franchise altering, and you know what you're getting out of him. You're getting a megastar that is going to change the way people look at your team, and that's huge for your perception.
And even putting all that aside, even for this current Blue Jays team, it's a perfect fit. He's a left-handed hitter. He hits for, he's one of the best power hitters in the league. And like you said, if he can't pitch as a starter going forward, he almost certainly will be able to, especially with the way technology and injury improvement has advanced. Most Tommy John, people going to that surgery usually come back pretty strong compared to their old self, especially given the the way things are now. But 11 years, 490, I'd probably do that in a heartbeat if I was the Blue Jays. The question is, they need to do, like you said, their due diligence to make sure the injury is maybe not worse than it seems, but at the very least, you're getting an unbelievable DH, and at worst, we would assume a very valuable relief piece. He could end up being one of the best closers in baseball, or maybe a 3 to 4 inning guy. The possibilities are endless because he's not been seen before. So I don't need to show you guys, his stats, because Ohtani has just been unbelievable. We all know what he's done. He put, 10 WAR, approaching 10 WAR last season. He hit over 30 home runs, and he's a guy who, for the rest of his career, will be an absolute power threat. And again, you can think about it on the baseball side, being an unbelievable player, or off the baseball side, if you're looking at it from an ownership perspective, as being one of the most, but he is the most valuable player to an organization in the entire league from an owner's perspective, and pretty much from a player, management perspective as well. So I don't see a reason why not. According to Ben Nicholson-Smith, though, his preference is a West team, all things being considered, and that's where the Jays might have to pony up and bid some more money, because it also says Shohei Ohtani's goal right now is to win. So maybe we throw an extra $100 million in there to snag him from maybe the Dodgers or another West team.
Yeah, it's easier said than done because it's not our money, Nick. And I would want him. I would throw whatever I had at Shohei Ohtani to become a Blue Jay. It would be a dream come true. I mean, to have a player like that in your organization that can do it all, the best player in the game. Have the Blue Jays ever had the undisputed best player in the game on their team, at least in our lifetime?
Maybe Josh Donaldson.
Maybe Josh Donaldson, but you could even argue Mike Trout got robbed that year for the MVP, and that's fine. Josh Donaldson was great, but I don't think he was Mike Trout level in that season. So, look, this would be unprecedented, uncharted waters for the Toronto Blue Jays to enter the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes, just because that's an amount of money that they've never even dreamt of giving to a player. But now we're here. Now this is a legitimate possibility for them to go ahead and do that. And I want to see it happen. Are they going to get him? Probably not. But I want a bidding war, and I want the Blue Jays to be in the mix because they have what it takes to be in the mix, and they have the money to do it. It's just a matter of whether or not they're willing to do it.
Yeah, and hopefully if they don't get him, they pivot to Cody Bellinger. But it'll be interesting to see. That'll wrap up the video. If you want to check out our video from yesterday, make sure to click the video on the screen. And thank you to Rentals.ca for sponsoring it. Check that out as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow.